Good morning, students. Hope you all fine. Okay, so this is a class for 10th standard. Subject is computer application. Chapter 7, Arrays in Java. Introduction to arrays. The definition. Array is the static memory allocation. It allocates the memory for the same data type in sequence. It contains multiple values of same types. It also stores the values in memory at the fixed size. In short, we can say array is a group of variables of same data type. Next, we'll see types of arrays. There are multiple types of arrays used in the programming language. They are single dimensional array, two-dimensional array, multi-dimensional array. Declaring array variables. The syntax given here, the data type subscript array reference variable, or you can give data type array reference variable subscript. So only thing is the place of subscript is varied. The example given here is double my list subscript. So my list is the array variable. Creating array reference variable. How we can create an array reference variable? Yes, by using new keyword. It creates an array using a new data type with array size. So array size is fixed. We can create an array in one single statement, that is declaration of an array variable, creating array, and assigning the reference to the array variable. Everything can be given in one single statement. Look at there, data type array reference variable is equal to new data type array size, and the values can be initialized in between the curly bracket. Look at the picture. This picture represents array mylist. Here, mylist holds 10 double values and the indices starts from 0 to 9. Next one is characteristics of arrays. There are 4 characteristics of arrays. Number 1, zero based indexing. Zero based indexing is nothing but the first element starts as 0. That is, if you are declaring the fixed size as 10, but the number starts with the indices 0 and end with 9. Next one is array length. So once we create an array, its size is fixed. It can be referred to a length as a dot length. Next one is memory representation. Since we were using a new keyword to create an array, so Java reserves a space in memory and it is called memory allocation. Next one is bounds checking. So this to be very careful while assigning a condition. Since we have declared an array size and if your condition is given I is less than equal to 100. The array size is 100 and the condition represent there less than equal to 100. So it means it doesn't reach the condition, so it will keep on execute. So we have to be very careful while giving a condition. Next, we'll see how to access the values of an array. Here is a small program. The array variable is num and the size of it is 5. And num of 2 is equal to 45. The 45 value is initialized in the place of num index 2. An ordinary variable a, and it was assigned by num of 2. So this is the way of accessing the array values to the some other variable. If I call a to be print, the value 45 is printed over there. Next one is initialization of single dimensional array. Here is the different data types used in an array variable and the values are assigned in between a curly bracket. Look at the string data type. The values are assigned in between a double quotes. Next we will see a small program to find sum of 5 numbers. Here 5 numbers are initialized in the num variable and it is an array variable. So the size of array is 5. An ordinary variable result is given and it is initialized 0.0. And in the for loop, according to the index value, the values are added and stored in the result. So now look at the for loop. I is equal to 0, 0 is less than 5, condition is true. So it is getting inside the for loop. Result is equal to result plus num of 0. Already the result is initialized 0.0 and the num of 0 is 1.0. So if you add, you will get 1.0 and it is stored in the result variable itself. And again I will be incremented, it becomes 1 and in the first index the value is 2.3 and 2.3 is added with the previous value of the result and you will be getting 3.3 and again the 3.3 will be stored in the result. So keep on, you will increment the I value and you will add all the elements in the array and finally you will get a result. Next we will see what are the operations can be performed in an array. So there are many operations, we will see only few here. The first one is searching, next insertion, deletion, sort, traversal and merge. So these are the basic operations can be performed in an array. Next we will see the one very first operation can be performed in an array is searching. Searching are of two different types. One is linear search and another one is binary search. We'll see what is linear search now. So each and every element of the array is compared one by one with a given item to be searched. Just look at the picture. Here I want to find out the number 37 in the array list. So there are totally 9 numbers, that is the length of the array is 9. So it has been allotted in the array list and start from the 0 index and end with the 8th index. So each index, the value of each index is compared with the 37 number and if it is equal the search is found. If it is not equal, it will keep on incrementing the indices and comparing the elements with the 37 and if it is equal it will find the search. Now we will see one example program using linear search. So here the class name is LSearch and we have used a scanner class. It is used to get an input during a runtime from the user. So here totally 10 values are initialized in an array variable and len, flag, I and n have been declared as an integer. It's an ordinary variable. And the number to be searched, it be stored in n. And the flag is equal to 0 and the len is equal to array.length. It means the size of the array will be stored in the length. So look at the for loop. I is equal to 0, I less than len, I plus plus. So initially I is 0 and the len is 10, the condition is true. So it is getting into the for loop. We have one if condition, that is array of 0 is equal to n. The number to be searched here is 67, so the n is 67 here. So a of 0 is equal to 67 or not, but a of 0 is 35, so condition is false. So it is keep on incrementing unless the condition gets true. So here look at the I is equal to 3, the array of 3 is 67, 67 is equal to 67, so we found the search. So it is getting inside the if condition, so flag becomes 1 and it will break the statement and come out from the for loop. And again you have an if condition, flag is equal to 1, and it will print 67 is found at the index of 3. Next we will see what is binary search. How we can do a binary search in a array list. Here the array list have been divided into two halts. Suppose look at the picture, there are totally 9 elements stored in an array list, and the indices value starts from the 0 and end with the 8. So the 0, the starting indices is stored in the variable first, and the last indices will be stored in the last variable. From that we can find out the mean. So that mean is assigned to be a middle value. So here the first value is 0 and last value is 8. 0 plus 8 is 4. 8 divided by 2, it is 4. The mid value is 4 now. So one example program using binary search. So here we will search a number in an array by using binary search. So the class name is bsearch and scanner class is used, and 10 values have been initialized in an array elements. So whatever the statements written in the linear search, the same thing we will follow in the binary search also. The only thing is 3 more variable we will declare here, that is start, end and mid. And end value is the number to be searched. So flag is initialized as 0 and the len is nothing but the length of the array. And start is initialized as 0 and end value is length of the array. Look at here, we are using a while condition. So inside the while condition we have start is less than equal to end. So start is 0 here and end is 9. So the condition is true. We are getting into the while loop. So inside the while loop we are going to find out the mid value. The mid value formula is start plus end divided by 2. So it is 0 plus 9 divided by 2 is 5. And you have if condition, that is n is equal to a of mid. Here the number to be found here is 56. So 56 is equal to a of 4, which is 78. So both are not equal. So again we are getting to the if else, that is else if statement. So else if statement is n is less than a of mid. So what is n? N is 56. So a of mid is 78. The condition is true. We are going to calculate now end value. So end is mid minus 1. So mid is 4 already. 4 minus 1 is 3. Now the new value of end is 3. So moving back to the while condition. So start is less than end. 0 is less than 3. So the condition is true. Getting inside now. So here we are going to find out the mid value. So mid value is 0 plus 3 divided by 2 is 1. Now the mid value is 1. So 56 is equal to a of 1. A of 1 is 45. It is not equal. So condition is false. Going to the else if condition. So here 56 is less than 45. No, it is not less than 45. So it is going to the else statement. Else statement is start is equal to mid plus 1. So already the mid is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. So now the new value of start is 2. Getting back to the while condition, 2 is less than equal to 3. Yes, the condition is true. So now 2 plus 3 divided by 2 is 2. Now the new value of mid is 2. So now n is equal to a of mid is 2. So a of mid is a of 2. A of 2 is 56. Now 56 is equal to 56. Condition is true. Getting into the if condition, flag becomes 1 and it will break the statement. It means it will come out the while loop. If flag is equal to 1, it will print 56 found at the index of 1. So the search have been found according to the conditions, that is it will follow the array list is divided into 2 halves and it will keep on comparing the numbers. Okay, just go through all the programs and utilize this class. Make a note of in your classwork. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you, students.